Hello and welcome to 2nd October 2019. We are already on the highway to 2020 and you are in my GloBUNTU Think plus Do equal B Masterclass 2020. That masterclass that is here to help you become that person that you want to be in 2020. Now, let me ask you a question. We are less than 3 months to 2020. Who do you intend to be in 2020? What is the 2020 version of you? What story do you want to tell come 2020? Who do you want to become? Too many questions, you say? Well, the reason why I ask these questions is because they really help you. They really help you reshape your life. They really help you make some very radical decisions if they need to be. They help you find yourself and become that person that you have always wanted to be. In this session of the masterclass, as usual, I have a series of questions for you. I love asking questions. I love asking questions because questions really help us to go inside of ourselves and to find out who we are, who we want to become, what we need to do in order to become that person that we want to become. Okay, I ask myself these questions every day. When I wake up, I ask myself the questions throughout the day, and I ask myself the questions when I go to sleep. Asking myself these questions has really sharpened my thoughts, kind of shifted them from where they used to be full of negativity, full of reactions, full of trying to fix life, into the space where I start creating. I start creating the life that I want. I create the things that I want to see. I create the person that I want to be instead of waiting for someone. Asking myself these questions over and over again has taken me to the space where I have learned to listen to myself. I have learned to pay attention to what I want, not what people say. I have learned to pay attention to the things that I need to do and to get them done without thinking about what people will say. People will always have something to say. We can't satisfy everyone in life. But if we learn to satisfy ourselves, if we learn to think first about what we will say, what we want, instead of what another person will say, then we will be many steps ahead of our peers. Okay, are you ready? Let's go with our set of questions. Who is it that you want to be in 2020? What is the thing that you always wanted to do and that you haven't done? How old are you? How long do you intend to wait? What is it that you're waiting for? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for money? You're waiting for resources? You're waiting to get rich? Waiting to release weight? Look at me. You're waiting to release weight first. You're waiting for the kids to leave the house. You're waiting for... What are all those excuses that are keeping you down from being and doing the things that you always wanted to do? I'll keep telling you my story. 6 years ago, when I was still living in Austria, I was so sure that my life was going to be there. I was so sure, and I had all kinds of excuses. I told people, listen, I have learned the language in this country. I have the citizenship. I have my networks here. I have my children born here. I have my friends here. I have my social environment here. People know me. Those are some of the excuses that keep us down from actually moving on into another version of us. Today, when I look back to that situation, I understand something very important that I did not understand back then and did not understand until now. When I look at the fact that I have been able to write and publish 18 books within a period of 3.5 years, and that I am currently working on 6 new titles simultaneously. When I look at the fact that the first 7 of these books have been approved by the Gauteng Department of Education in South Africa, and that they are being read in 200 schools in Gauteng. Look at me. This really makes me emotional. When I look back at all these things that I have achieved within a very short time, the period of 3.5 years, a very big lesson become very clear to me. You know, sometimes when you're in a space that you have outgrown, sometimes when you send out your wishes to the universe, sometimes when you place orders and you forget that you have to get yourself ready to receive them. Something happens. That could be shit that happens. That was my thing. I had always wanted to be a writer. It was all in me, but I was in the wrong environment, an environment that I had outgrown. Had I stayed in Austria for the last 4 years, I wouldn't have been able to write the books that I have written. And least of all, I wouldn't have had them approved by any Department of Education, and they will not be read today by children in 200 schools. You get the point that I'm trying to make? Sometimes we outgrow our environment. When we stay in that environment, we can't grow anymore. So what happens is we start to reduce ourselves. We reduce our dreams. We reduce our expectations to fit into a space that we have outgrown. Sometimes we just have to realize that a mission has been accomplished and we need to move on. We need to let go and move on. So if you plan to move on, you have to be ready and willing to let people go. You have to let your past achievements go. You have to let your social status go. You have to sometimes you have to let your family go. You have to let some of your best friends go. But believe me, those who understand you, those who are for you, those who want to see you grow, they will eventually come with you. They will come with you because they will realize that it is about you, not about them. It's about your happiness, not about theirs. It is about your personal growth. It is about you being grounded. It's about you doing the things that you want to do. It's about you driving your own change in the world. It is about you helping someone. It is about you using your gift, that very unique gift that your creator gave you, that the universe endowed upon you for you to play a part in the world, in the ecosystem that we live in. So my question is, have you found out that part that was uniquely given to you to play in this universe, and you want to play it in 2020? Have you found that gift that only you can give to the world, and are you ready to take it out? Have you found that solution that someone may need in order to become who they become because of you? Have you found that one thing that you want to add into the ecosystem to make it a better place? Have you found that one thing that you can do that makes you happy, that you can do so effortlessly, that you can do with a lot of joy, that you don't even need motivation to do because it is inside of you? That one thing for me was writing books. And let me tell you something about writing books. I am dyslexic. This means I write with a lot of typos. Quite often I tell people that I'm the queen of typos. And for someone who loves writing, to be dyslexic, to write with typos, an excuse that will keep many people away from writing. And to be honest, it kept me away for some time. I thought I can't write. I need someone to proofread. And I write very fast. Sometimes I keep manuscripts away from publishing because I don't have someone to proofread at the pace at which I'm writing. But I had to tell myself, I came into this world to write, to create, not to fix. I'm not here to fix any system. I'm here to create. So what I'm trying to say, when you know who you really are and what your gift is, whether your gift is being a creator, whether your gift is being a fixer, whether your gift is being a critic, is your gift helping someone, is your gift just growing, is your gift being happy, is your gift inspiring someone, is your gift doing that thing that makes you happy. When you find that thing, you realize that you need to let something go in order to tap to that. Let me tell you again, I let even the most important thing in my life go. I had to. Those were my two kids. My daughter was just 12 years old and my son 13 and a half. And I had to make that hard decision to let them go in order to find out who I become. It was a very hard decision. But when you make that decision and you're clear and transparent about it, even the kid understands it. There's a mistake that some of us parents keep making over and over again. We don't become who we want to become. We don't do the thing that we want to do because of the children. We say, oh no, I can't do it because the children are still young. I can't live this relationship that is killing me, that is pulling me down, that is making me so unhappy because of the children. I can't live the environment that I have outgrown that is really making me sick because of the children. I can't take the children out of school. I can't take them with me. We come up with all this argument. But let me ask you a question. Do you really realize the burden that you put on your children when you do not do the things that you want to do because of them? when you keep reminding them that you could not be who you wanted to become because of them? Do you know what burden you put on them by just doing that? And do you know that that's just a flimsy excuse? Let me ask you another question. Do you think you're really helping your children by staying in situations that are disabling you because of them? Do you think they are happy seeing you in that kind of a situation? What I'm trying to say basically is that there is no excuse when it comes to doing what you want to do, when it comes to being happy, when it comes to tapping into your purpose, when it comes to realizing who you truly are and just being it. There is just no excuse. Your children will eventually understand. Your friends will eventually understand. Why? Because you will become a role model for them. You'll be someone that they can refer to when they're in such a situation in life, when they have to make choices. The choices you made yesterday are responsible for the life that you have today. And the choices that you will make today will be responsible for the life that you have tomorrow in 2020. So what I'm basically trying to say is, if you are not happy with the life that you have today, then you definitely have to start doing something different today so your life can change tomorrow. If you keep doing the things that you've always done, you will keep having the results that you're always having. But if you want to have a different result, you have to definitely do something differently. And trust you me, doing something different is never easy. Leaving my children and everything that had been in Austria and moving to South Africa with 2 suitcases and 1,800 euros in my pocket with a tourist visa and not really knowing what I was going to do was not an easy decision. But when I look back today, that is one of the best decisions that I took for myself, because it led me to discover the author in me, the author that is capable of writing 18 books within 3.5 years, in spite of being dyslexic, in spite of the fact that she's in an environment that she doesn't understand. It led me to becoming that author whose books have been approved for schools and that are being read by children in 200 schools in Gauteng in less than 3.5 years, in a country that she barely knows, in a country that she was in with a visiting visa. You have to learn how to break barriers, to take some risk, take some radical risk in 2020 if you want to become the person that you be, the person that you were created to be. Okay, so how do you take some radical changes? How do you go about it? This will be the object of the next video. So if you're ready to change your life, you're ready to turn your life around, you're ready to become the person that you know you can be in 2020, I can't insist on this enough. Then join me in the next session, because I will be talking to you about how to make radical changes, how to transform your life, and how to not just think, but to take action in order to get what you want, but to become who you want to be. It is your life, and we have this life just once. We are lucky to still be here. Some people did not wake up. So what is it that you want to do to celebrate the fact that you're still here, that you still have the gift of life? Don't wait anymore. I'm here to give you all the permission that you need. I'm here to take you by the hand, to lead you to 2020, a year that you will want to celebrate. Thank you for joining my Think, Do, Be GloBUNTU Masterclass 2020. I will see you in the next session.